on to you, Leos. So you Leos have the Empress, the Chariot, and then and then you Leos have the Three of Wands. So a lot of us, a lot of us. I'm not Leo's son, but I do have Leo in my chart. But a lot of you Leos, um, uh, I'm a Virgo, but a lot of you Leos basically, a lot of you Leos doing whatever it is that you want. You got the money to. You Leos are not with anybody, so there's nothing really holding you responsible for being single, because you are, right? You're not one of those individuals that are single while it is that you're in a relationship. You're actually single. You know, you really don't have anybody around. And why that's so important in the first place, is because of the fact that you Leos are okay with being like that, because you Leos most definitely feel free. You Leos don't have to deal with the combativeness or having like weight being tied to your ankle, right? Like how you have those ankle weights and stuff like this being tied to your ankles. You Leos can pretty much do whatever you want to do because you're single, a lot of you. And part of the reason why is because, like I said, like things don't be working out in relationships. You know, most people, especially nowadays, are not in relationships, and the reason why is because of the intellectual dishonesty. Excuse me, the intellectual dishonesty. People are not really being transparent about their situation. I knew somebody, that basically was complaining about, well, why is it that, they find it hard to be in relationships. And I knew this person for about 6 months or whatever, but this person started just, having their little group chats or whatnot. So I kind of disappeared. I asked this person, this person starts doing, lives by themselves or whatever again. And then I go ahead and I start talking to them. The person gonna act like they don't know me. And then so when the person started to act like they didn't know me or whatnot, I looked at that like that was my cue to essentially leave them alone and unfollow them and keep it moving. I go back up in their room because I know how a lot of people are. They like to talk about you behind your back. I go back in the room to see if they still talking or whatnot. And like the person's talking about, oh, I may have to change my my main account, stuff like this. And I had to tell the person, like, you need to relax because I already unfollowed you and I'm moving forward with my life after this. So you gotta relax. You putting on too much of an acting show. You taking this thing too far, you weirdo. Like, and since then, I ain't rock with it. Real talk. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. Like, how you gonna be in and it's like, this is why it is that and how could you complain about why these people be doing you wrong in relationships? It's like, you fake. It's like, oh, no wonder why people go into your room. No wonder why people don't go into your room. They don't say what up because they know that you fake. Right? And see, this is the kind of intellectual dishonesty that it is that you Leos are essentially staying away from. It's like that be the intellectual dishonesty, right? The Five of Pentacles and the Four of Swords for you Leos. Again, you Leos be stepping to people, trying to have an open hand and really try to offer a relationship, but they be fake. They be faking in a $3 bill. They be faking in what it is that I just described. And it actually happened, but I'm talking about how the person sat up. What I was talking about is fake is how the person sat up there and described like, oh, what they played like they didn't understand why it is that they couldn't be in relationships. Because you fake, shawty. You fake. Okay? Like, you know. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to break the news to you, but you fake. You know? And so you Leos looking at other people like that. Because y'all look at it like you will give offers to other people, try to see if there could be something that could be worked out between you and them. Nope. That's what the Four of Swords represent. Nope. And so the Queen of Wands and the Devil card is about how you Leos just figure to yourselves, you gotta be, you're gonna go in it alone. You're gonna be by yourself for a while. Not a lot of people are on your caliber. A lot of people are fake out here, fam. Trust me. A lot of people are really, they doing way too much, fam. They doing so much to the point where it's like, stop doing that, right? Because they getting on live streams with this, pulling this nonsense, and it's like you taking this way too far, like you know what I mean? Like you taking this way too far. Like you need to get over yourself for real. Like it's starting to get really out of hand. You know, relax. You know what I mean? It's starting to really get out of hand. You doing way too much. You getting out of control. You getting beside yourself, and you're not that important in the first place. You know what I mean? Like all you doing is showing and proving that you socially awkward. So cut the act. You know, calm down. And this is why you Leos don't want to be with anybody, because y'all are getting it together. Things is popping off well for you, right? In a good way. And then you bring a fake individual on board, right? A person, because a lot of people especially in modern day time, they'll play like they'll have your interests. They'll like what you like just so that you can actually accept them. And then when you accept them, boom, what happens? Now they show you that this is what it is that they really on. They not on anything constructive. They on trying to get you to be upset all day and get you to pay them attention all day. It's goofy, right? Playing games. And so the Ten of Wands and the Six of Wands here is not, you Leos have something better to do. Y'all are, you know, enjoying y'all lives too much. Way too much to be out here getting caught up in relationships. What? And then you had a Seven of Wands, you know. People got to really offer you something. They got to, and this is what I mean when I say that, you know, establishing peace, Justice card, establishing peace in relationships, or the Justice card, which is peace, is too much, because a person would require them to stop pulling dumb stuff, stupid stuff, for them to actually now have to figure out, well, what am I going to do in this relationship? That's, you're right. That's the next question, right? Because now when you sit them down, you get into talking with them, and then you sit them down, and then they not pulling nonsense, right? Now it requires them to actually go do something. Now it requires them to come up with a new way to be exciting. People find getting into arguments exciting. That's how they keep your attention, get into arguments with you. But then the constructive stuff that you Leos be on, they'll say, oh, well, y'all are boring. Right, you Leos, right, getting money and being able to never be broke and being able to spend your money on and get pretty much almost anything that you want, that's boring. But what isn't boring is bickering and arguing all day. Why is it that people who bicker and argue all day are the poorest ones in this society? Getting up online dry begging, talking about what somebody need to do for them. This is dry begging. Get your goofy behind off of the internet and go find something constructive to do, you loser. That is loser mentality. That is pathetic. Talking about what somebody need to do for you. What are you talking about? Sitting online all day, getting on TikTok, getting on social media. You Leo see it. Let's clarify. the Empress. Five of Wands, Scorpio energy. Six of Swords, Two of Wands, and then you have the Ten of Wands, right? To clarify, the Empress, right? The Five of Wands, the Scorpio energy, and the Six of Swords. You know, you Leos, again, you Leos have some people that are interested, but you Leos are not interested in anybody right now. And the reason why you're not interested in anybody right now is because what are they going to do besides bring mischief into your life? You know? Like, these people can't even help make you some more money. They can't even say, well, if, you know, let's do this, let's do that. Let's make this move. Let's make that move. You know, you notice that most people don't have anything to talk about. You notice that most people don't have anything to talk about. They're not even good conversationalists in these relationships. Keeping it a buck with you. You know, and this goes on both sides. The Two of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Right? They're gonna object. They're gonna resist. They're gonna try to make it seem like, you know, you Leos are tripping. But are you Leos tripping though? I'm gonna tell you what it is that I see about you Leos. I see you Leos are really assessing and estimating and really understanding things from a realistic perspective. You know, most people don't have anything to offer because they're not even trying to have something to offer. They're not looking to understand the art of the deal. They're not looking to have something to offer, to make themselves useful. They're not looking to make themselves an indispensable, valued member of a relationship. A person that you just can't throw away. They bring value like that. Right? So they're looking to take and take and take and take. And it's like, okay, while you have this taking mentality, don't expect another person to really take you seriously after that, right? So let's clarify the Four of Wands. Excuse me, not the Four of Wands, Seven of Wands. Excuse me. Yo, what is up? So to clarify the Seven of Wands, excuse me, you have the Hermit, the Devil card, the Five of Pentacles, right? The Ace of Pentacles, King of Wands, right? The Hermit, the Devil card, Five of Pentacles. That's another thing too, you know, that I haven't talked about, that I may end up start talking about. That's another aspect of it too. Again, you Leos have a more realistic perspective. What are they going to do? They're not going to have conversations. They can't teach you anything. You know, two people in relationships are supposed to be intelligent. Both of them are supposed to be intelligent. Both of them are supposed to be teaching each other something, right? No one person has enough time in the universe in a physical body to be able to learn everything. That's one of the reasons why you go out and you speak to people. People will tell you what it is that they know. That's a fast way to gain information without having to always take the time to read a book all the time, right? You get a chance to actually listen to what they have to say in the twinkling of an eye. And see, but that's the situation though, when one person doesn't even know how to have a conversation, but then the two of you are supposed to be tight like glue in a relationship. How is that going to work? And this brings me to this right here, right? The Hermit, the Devil, and the Five of Pentacles. This is why it is that you Leos be running away from relationships nowadays, because running away from them, because you Leos can't stay. You Leos can't get out of them fast enough, because what's going to happen? They're going to try to isolate you from your friends and the people whom you know. They're going to try to separate you from the things that you love to do. How many times you Leos been in relationships where people start talking about they don't like that you hanging out with such and such? And that be part of the reason too why it is that another person ends up one person ends up catching their significant other, right, goes behind their back and has an affair with their so-called friend, because more than likely the person told them, the dysfunctional significant other told them they didn't like them hanging out with such and such, and they said, I ain't gonna listen to that or whatever. Probably still hung out with them, potentially. And then what happened is went behind their back to kind of show them, oh, okay, see, this person is untrustworthy. It's, like I said before, it's all a big game. And this is why it is that you Leos can't stay in relationships long enough. You be running out of them, because the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Wands, you bring the value, King of Pentacles, but the King of Wands, do they bring value to you? They bring a lot of hand emptiness. They looking for so much. They want this, they want that, they want this, they want that. They want all of this stuff. But they're not actually bringing any kind of real consciousness value back. You know, mindfulness back. Do they think about you Leos? How do they think about you Leos? Do they consider you Leos when they make decisions? So, you know, it's a lot of begging and choosing. It's a lot of people, you know, wanting something to eat, but then when you offer them a sandwich, oh no, I don't want a sandwich. But you a vagrant living on the street and you don't have any other means of getting it. What you mean? Take this turkey sandwich. Oh no, I'm hungry. I'm starving. I haven't eaten in 4 days. But I won't take this turkey sandwich. Nah, a turkey sandwich has tomatoes on it. So why don't you just take the turkey sandwich and open up the turkey sandwich and just take the tomatoes out of it? Nah, I'll just sit here and remain hungry. This is how they sound. They want things this way, but it's like, but you, and no disrespect to the vagrants, none at all. But it's a concept that I'm talking about. They want so much stuff, right? They're so hungry for all these different things, while at the same time they're so particular and picky about what they want. And it's like the person who's begging for so much and constantly needs help needs to shut up and accept whatever kind of sincere help they get. They need to be thankful. That's how this thing is played. So, but you Leos aren't finding that. You Leos are finding a lot of people, they have this hunger for these experiences, and to fly out here and there, and to get noodles from Italy and all this other type of nonsense. The noodles in Italy and all this other type. It's like, and you Leos are like, yeah, that don't sound good to you. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I want more you Leos to come through and get a personal reading from me. The link to that is in the comment section below. It's called a Linktree link. I'm also trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. I'm trying to grow the YouTube channel, right? It's not really about the 100,000 subscribers. I'm just trying to grow. Please help me grow. I have 20,480 subs. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.